Hello everyone, Runick here, and we did it. We got our invite with our favorite deck, which is Volcanics. Was just at the Philly Regional recently and ended 7-3, getting 39th place. I just want to get a little deck profile in for you guys, just because this is my favorite archetype. I've been playing it since 2011 or 2010. I remember I played a build with Flamvel, Fire Dog, Rekindling, and it was like a Synchro variant where you used the original Blaze Accelerator to scattershot their board. And then I played it again when the trap card came out. So I'm extremely excited to show you guys this deck profile. I'm playing Volcanic FTK, one of the coolest variants. I do enjoy the Horus Control or just the regular control variant as well because you get to play Scattershot. But I enjoy the consistency more and the absolute just wrecking you can do in a game 1 or game 3. So enjoy the deck profile. Okay, so I get into the main deck. It is 45 cards. I think 45 is a magic number for this deck because you play a lot of one-ofs that you either don't want to draw or just both either completely dead draws or you just don't want to draw because you can search them pretty easily. Very similar to how Dragon Link plays a higher card count because all of their cards search each other and they have a lot of one-ofs like Boot Sector and Dragon Ravine and these other cards like Branded Beast that they really don't want to draw. They want to pull them from their deck. So let's go over the deck profile. Once again, this is Volcanic FTK. I know there's a lot of other variants. I've tried them all. I just enjoy this one the most. So you play three trooper. He's your main searcher. He searches any volcanic card in the deck, and he is basically a 1-card FTK. If you have any other level 1 in hand, you get the FTK and you don't get hand trap. Not only does he search, but he also discards to give your opponent a token, and when that token gets destroyed, your opponent takes 500 damage, and that's very integral to the FTK as it deals 8150 damage. So not having that extra 500 is very important. You play 3 shells. This is your recursion. Feels really bad to draw 2, but I did not draw 2 in an opening hand all event. I only ever saw 1 where I searched it off of this guy, or I dumped it to the graveyard with Fire Rejection or the new Blaze Accelerator. So he searches himself from the graveyard. Soft ones per copy, so if you reborn him with Fire Recovery, and so if this thing goes to the graveyard and you pay 500 to search one, and then you bring this thing back, the same one back, and it goes to the graveyard, you can search it again for 500 because it's soft ones per copy. 2 Rimfire. This card has 2 effects you can use each per turn. You either banish him when he goes to the graveyard. You either banish him to Foolish Burial Volcanic, or you can banish a Blaze Accelerator place from your field or graveyard to place one from your deck. So since your Blaze Accelerator is soft once per turn, you can recycle the special summoning and the pop effect of the Blaze Accelerator, or you can dump the big guy, Volcanic Emperor, which is your FTK piece. He's an inherent summon from hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Pyros, and when he's summoned, you burn your opponent for 500 times the amount of banished Pyros. So in the FTK, you burn him for 2,000, and then you set a Volcanic Trap. If for some reason you don't get the FTK off and your opponent leaves this in the graveyard, they lose every turn too because this thing just comes back, burns for like 35. Very big. Burn damage hits a lot. It's also a Masquerade effect where your opponent takes 500 damage every time they special summon a monster. So if they hit your trap card with like a Cosmic Cyclone, you can keep this thing on the field and they can only special summon 3 times that turn, or else they just die. Next in the Snake Eye package, we play 1 Witch, 1 Ash, 1 Birch, 1 Ash, 1 Oak, 1 Birch, and 1 Dragon. This card is like the worst card in the game. Actually, this card's great, but drawing this card feels really bad. I saw this card so many times during the event that I kind of wish I didn't play it, but it's very mandatory as it lets you go into combo lines of going into Heat Soul. So very important. It also protects against evenly match. If you don't FTK, you can put their Ash or hand trap in their spell and trap card zone. You can also place the Diabell Star and then special summon on your turn and then get the set effect again. And if your opponent somehow went to IP or SP, this card is just crazy because bringing back one of those 2 cards just is insane. Last monster that's not a hand trap is the Greater Inari Fire. This is people's, like, no one understands how these cards work because they are inherent summons from the deck. So you need a spellcaster and a level 4 or lower fire monster in the field to summon this guy from your deck. When he's summoned, you burn them for the attack of one of their monsters. Generally, it's the token you summon off of Trooper, which is 1,000. Or if you went second and they don't have any negates, you can hit them for like 25, 27 if you're playing as Fire King, or like 3K playing as Mannadium or something like that. It's kind of crazy. Or if they nib you. If they nib you on your Snake Eye line, and you summon this thing, they're burning for 3k and they die next turn. They die on their turn every time. Also, he searches the trap card when he gets set to the graveyard. And then for hand traps, I play 3 Ash, 3 Droll, and then 3 Imperm. This card's basically a hand trap. It just plays around talents. I think these are the best cards of the format. Post Phantom Nightmare, I don't know if Ash will be that great because Hida is so strong in the mirror match, in the fire mirror match, because they make Hida, they grab your Ash, and that gives them access code, or it gives them, I believe, Salamander Great Sunlight Wolf to get something back in their graveyard, or they can go into Heat Soul and draw a card. Kind of insane. On the spells, you play 3 of the new Dracoslayer, really, really good, and you have to play the 1 brick. This card feels really bad to draw because it does nothing. This card is a soft once per turn, special summon the Volcanic from hand, which you need to do for the FTK. It's also a soft once per turn, pop a monster your opponent controls by sending a level 1 Pyro from the deck to the graveyard. So you just play this, give them the token, and then you pop the token by sending a Runefire. Runefire sends the big guy, and I'll go over the combo at the end of the video. You also play 2 Fire Rejection and 2 Fire Recovery. This is a new addition to my build. I think it's alright where if you open up these 2 cards, you get to the FTK. I just don't like playing 3 of this card. I really don't like it. This card also lets you draw a card, which is really cool. 3 of the best cards in the game, which I'm currently proxying. I borrowed them for the event. This is Bonfire. Searches the entire deck. It's just so good. And then for the Wanted Engine, 3 Wanted, and Snake Eye. And then since it's an FTK deck, you kind of have to play around hand traps pretty hard. So you play the Call By, the Instant Fusion for Millennium Eyes Restrict, and then I main 2 Crossouts inside the 3rd. This card's just spurky if you open up more than 1, and it feels bad if you go 2nd and you open up 1, so 2 is a good number. And then for traps, you play 2 mandatory traps other than the Imperms. This is the search off the Inari Fire. Basically, this says deal 3,100 to your opponent during their draw phase. And this card basically says deal 1,550 to your opponent during their draw phase. So on their draw phase, they can hit for 4,650. To the side deck. So I side the 3rd crossout, and I side some extra crossout targets. Bell is very big because of Fire Kings, and you can side it in game 2, or if you go first, because they can Bell Rimfire. So I think it's alright. This card's just also generically good, so having a 1-of that you can draw is alright. Same with Nib. This deck kind of plays around Nib pretty easily, but there are some lines where you can lose to it, so I do side it in. Also, again, some matchups, having a 1-of is pretty good. And then the 1 D-Shifter, because this deck does lose to D-Shifter. Some board breakers, 2 Pankratops, and 1 Kurakara. This card's going to be insane in this format because you can just search it off of Ash. You can also get it if you pitch the original Simple Swallows. And then use the effect that turn to search this. Pretty good. 3 of what I think the best card next format's going to be for breaking boards is 3 Super Polys. It's just almost every board kind of ends on a Super Polyable board, and if they choose not to, they generally have a weaker board. So I just think this card's too crazy. And also if you discard Volcanic Shell, Volcanic Rimfire, or the big guy, you kind of don't even lose out by discarding with this card. And then 2 thrusts and search targets for thrusts, talents, harpies, and evenly. I never put in harpies. Evenly was pretty good. It's just weird. I think these cards will get better next format where your opponent has like Fire Kings on board and you just evenly them for their life. I think it's gonna happen pretty easily. I don't believe that deck puts up too many negates. And lastly, on the extra deck, you play your 1 instant fusion target and then your 4 super poly targets. I only super polyed once the entire event. I went into Mud Dragon because it kind of wins the Rescue Ace matchup. The 1 required Typhon, this card won me 2 games. Just you play through a bunch of stuff, you burn them, and then you just fucking play this you just summon like a small dude, like a Volcanic Shell, and you just summon this, and then you swing for game. Kind of insane. For links, you need the Anima because this is how you summon the Inari Fire from the deck because it's a spellcaster. You have your Link 1 Link Karibo. For Link 2s, you have Hida, Sunlight Wolf, IP, and then the best card in the game, which is 2 SPs. This card's just crazy. The only matchup this card's like ever bad in is like Dragons, because if they go Regain, this card is useless. And then for Link 3s, 1 Nightmare Unicorn and 1 Decode Talker Heat Soul. I think this actually is going to change starting Phantom Nightmare because of the Princess, the Link 4 Whale machine card. Also, I kind of want to play Celine and Access Code. Not that I felt the need, not that I needed to like really OTK anybody with those cards, but they're just generically good. And I think we're gonna be in a format where you can easily go into Access Code every time going second, because Fire Rematch, Gohita, take their Ash or Oak, get the Oak or Ash effect, go into Celine, summon the Velsar, and then go Access Code and kill them. I think it can be really good. Just want to go over the FTK. So the FTK is Trooper, and let's just say you have a Shell in hand. This is all you need. Trooper in a level 1, and a discard. Let's just say this is... you also need a discard card. So if you go first, you normal summon Trooper. You search out the Blaze Accelerator. You play this, and you have to send the shitty one for cost. You then use this to special summon your field. You then use Trooper to discard a card, giving them a token. So they now have a token on the field with 1,000 attack. You link off the Shell into Anima, and then you use both of these to go into the Inari Fire. This card deals 1,000 damage, or it deals damage equal to the attack of a monster, so the token has 1,000, so this deals 1,000 damage to them. You then search off with Shell. Not that it's really that important. You then use Blaze Accelerator, blowing up their guy by sending the big guy. And then what's going to end up happening is you're going to run into a situation where you summon this big guy. And, I mean, off the top of my head, you summon this guy by banishing 3 Pyros. You get a third Pyro in there somehow on this board. It burns up for 2k. And then somehow you get a third monster. You link off this and the monster for SP. And then this guy searches the trap. This guy also searches the trap. So they burn for 500 for the token dying, 1,000 for the Inari Fire, and then 2k with the big guy. So that's 3,500 damage, and then this deals 31 on their draw phase, and this deals 1,550 on their draw phase. And that's 8,150. So that's the FTK. Hopefully you guys enjoy. There are a couple changes I want to make to the deck. Like I want to add the new the Trap Blaze Accelerator, like a one of, because it's a good placement off of Rimfire. I also want to try like playing 2 Hita, the Fire Channeler, but the problem is you don't play around Nib anymore because you can't go into SP. So there's a couple things I want to try out. If you liked the video, go ahead and comment and subscribe. I am working on a new project called Competitive Cards United, which will be a talk show to talk about any competitive card game. Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, Magic, even some cards like some games like Seven Wonders. So yeah, make sure to follow and subscribe and get ready for that. So that, have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace.